Yeah, I mean,
Let's get this light
we
on.
wanted to
Sorry,
come out here and
Jody.
check out the property and get eyes on more of the cool completed projects that we felt fun. And really just hear about the vision that you had for the property whenever you saw. This is a unique one. It was a church, now it's condos.
Yep.
So I mean, just like walk us through. How'd you see this and then say, this is what I want to do with that.
Sure. So so this whole journey started in 2019 actually. The original vision was not for condos. The original vision was for an event venue.
Okay.
And then COVID hit in early 2020, as you know, and kind of threw the event space for kind of upside down.
Yeah.
So we had to pivot. It was already rezoned, so that challenge was already off the table because the church that was here before decided that the long-term vision was residential units, is what they wanted to turn into, because they kind of lost their parking, and the highest and best use of the building would have been units. So they actually did that work about 7 or 8 years before we did the purchase. And then at that point, it was just so we were going to do an event venue and then pivoted off back onto residential units.
Yeah.
And then we just took it from there with the historic district, making the whole property and the new building next door all seamlessly converge into one kind of homogeneous product at the end.
That's really nice. And
Yeah.
we were talking about this before, but I mean, just the design and the layout of the units are pretty awesome. With it being such an old structure, were there any structural like issues in the building that needed to be
Thankfully, no. All the shoring up. There was some in the attic space in the roofing structure that needed to be further supported. But essentially, from the brick, like right inside the brick facade that you see on the outside, is essentially a completely like a building built from the ground up right inside the building. So it's really like a ground up construction being done inside a building.
That makes sense.
So really all the structure, all the support systems that were built inside was built as if it was ground up. So it's not really dependent upon the exterior shell to support anything.
Yeah.
It's all fixed and attached, of course, but it's really just a building built inside a building.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So the church building came, when we purchased it, there was an additional building next door, which is called the parsonage. And that was an additional 2 units, which we had the vision to kind of carve off of the lot so that didn't have to be part of the HOA. And so that's 2 units. And then inside this main historic church building is 11 additional units. And then next door, ground up construction was additional 3 units, nice. One of which is a handicap accessible unit. So it's a total of 16, but technically part of the project, it's 14 units. Yep. And most of the units are 2 bed, 2 bath, around 1,300 square feet or so, new finishes, quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances, washer dryers in every unit, tile backsplash, large format tile, as you'll see maybe as we go through in the bathrooms, high ceilings, and some of the units actually have like 16-foot ceilings with the original arch.
I saw that on some of the photos.
Arch wood, original wood ceilings from the original, the historic church area. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the historic district was the biggest challenge because they want to maintain everything as historic as possible, and you can't just change anything you wanted to change. You can't just paint the building white if you wanted to. We had to keep a lot of these glass windows, the stained glass windows, of course, too, which add the character.
Yeah.
The brick inside some units, you'll see some original brick, exposed brick. And that arched wood ceiling that you'll see as well. Several units have the same stained glass carrying from one floor to the next. So it's a cool continuation.
Yeah.
We were able to get balconies in 5 of the units that overlook the city. So at night, if you're up on the balcony, you could see the city lights and the buildings. So it's a cool view. Yeah, it's really cool. Charlotte's a great city. Very, any event that's going on in the city, any holiday, the city just lights up with that color. So, the sky is just lit up with whatever the color. Yeah, exactly. If the Panthers are playing or Charlotte FC, the MLS team is playing, they'll light up all the buildings in blue or whatever. So it's really cool. Just the steel side stairwell here, we had to literally rip it out and remake new steel to make this look like this again, because it was just old and dilapidated, needed all new work. So this is a cool design element that Cluck, the architect, Cluck Design Collaborative, local here in Charlotte. They've done a lot of projects. They did another church renovation project as well. But so you kind of come into this foyer area where you have your two front doors of units 12 and 13, and you have the stained glass window here in this, I don't know, maybe 25-foot ceiling. And at night, the lighting that's in here just illuminates through. So as you're outside, you see the stained glass lit up. Really awesome. Yeah, it's a whole nother view here at night, actually. So it's really cool. You have this open space, white shaker cabinets, stainless steel appliances.
Does this one have the wood ceiling?
Yes. So let's go up and take a look at that. So as you come up, you get these 16-foot ceilings. The original arched wood ceiling from the sanctuary. You have your washer dryer, walk-in closet, large format bathroom tiles. Yeah, so here's the stained glass it's protected both for sound and heating and cooling.
You gotta check out the bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom's really cool too. So it's really like you're owning a piece of history here in Charlotte, because it's not like a typical cookie cutter, townhome. Builders are doing those all over the place. Here you're kind of buying like artwork, where it's just going to appreciate in value a little bit better than
protected.
Yeah, we protect it with a plexiglass coating. Yeah. The other advantage of owning and living in a historic district is that, there's always two sides of every coin. Some people are like, well, I can't paint my house or do what I want, but at the same time, you're protected from, the variety of different types of builds that could go up, and people just doing whatever they want to do. You kind of have a governing body that kind of protects the owners. You can't just take down all the trees that you want. You have the tree canopy as you go through the different, just a couple of streets that are Wesley Heights. So it's one of 5 historic districts here in Charlotte, and the historic district just does a great job of, not being overly, I don't know what the word is, but they have a good balance of practicality and trying to maintain the historic.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and I gotta give LYNK, a huge plug here, because they were awesome from day one. Matt Brothers, Valentine, said like, look, we were having some challenges with our previous lender, and they came in and said, look, we could come in and help with the financing side of this. Picked it up. It was seamless. Within a couple of weeks, maybe a month. I was shocked at how quickly they were able to move, and still checked all the boxes they needed to. Very smooth underwriting process. Stayed with us throughout the process. It was definitely challenging with the builder and the different subs of the builder, but they stuck with us, and it was mutual benefit.
Yeah. Well, Mark, I'm sure that you know this through our correspondence, but we really do try to help people find a lending home.
Absolutely.
We love that most of our borrowers are repeat.
Absolutely. Yep.
We're here to build a partnership.
Exactly.
So
yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to that long term.
Absolutely.